Welcome to your deep dive for today. We've got a really unique story I think you'll enjoy. It's about redefining what it even means to be successful. And our source material for this one is a podcast episode called Soot to Success, and it features Ray Gessner. He is a multimillionaire who built his entire fortune in a pretty unexpected field, chimney sweeping.
Oh, wow, chimney sweeping.
Yeah, so we're going to unpack how Ray went from being just a struggling engineer to full-on business mogul
Yeah.
and what challenges he faced and ultimately what lessons we can learn
Yeah.
from his journey.
Yeah, it's fascinating how someone can take a trade that's often perceived as, traditional
Hmm.
and turn it into something thriving and modern. I'm really interested to see what strategies he used to do that.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
So let's start with his background. Okay,
Yeah.
so Ray, he grew up in Virginia Beach, and even early on, he was showing he had a knack for math and science.
Hmm.
So he got an engineering degree from Virginia Tech, and then he went on and got his master's at Old Dominion University. He specialized in structural and geotechnical engineering. So you would think,
Skyscrapers.
yes, skyscrapers, not chimneys.
Right. It is interesting, though, how that background might have played a role in his success later on.
Hmm.
Engineering is all about problem solving, analytical thinking, understanding structures. All those skills could be applied to building and scaling any business, even chimney sweeping.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not always about like the specific knowledge, but those transferable skills
Yeah.
that you pick up along the way. But speaking of hands-on, Ray actually did start his career as a structural engineer.
Okay.
However, like a lot of graduates in the early 90s, he faced a really tough job market. So in 1998, he kind of took a leap of faith and founded a step in Time Chimney Sweeps.
Okay.
The name itself is kind of a fun fact. It was inspired by the song from Mary Poppins.
Oh, have fun.
Yeah. But what really caught my attention was his early success. He was making serious money right away, right off the bat. In fact, in his first year, he had a day where he made over $1,000, just knocking on doors and offering his services.
Wow, that's impressive. Especially considering his engineering job at the time was only paying him $600 a week.
Yeah.
Sounds like he had a natural knack for sales
Mm-hmm.
and connecting with people.
Yeah.
What do you think made him so effective right away like that?
I'm curious too, yeah. Was it pricing, customer service? It'd be interesting to hear more about what techniques he used
Ooh.
to, win over clients. But anyway, this financial success was a turning point for him. He saw the potential and decided to fully commit to
Yeah.
this new venture.
Yeah, sounds like he recognized an opportunity
Yeah,
that other people may have overlooked, saw a need, had the drive
total.
to capitalize on it.
So let's fast forward a little bit. By 2004, his business is thriving. He's got a fleet of new vans
Nice.
and a team of certified chimney technicians. And that certification process, by the way, was no joke. He brought in expert trainers and instituted a really rigorous program with a pass or get fired policy.
Wow, that's intense. But it shows his commitment.
He
Yeah.
was not messing around. So just as things are looking up, Ray faces a major setback.
Oh, no. He tries to expand nationwide, partnering with other chimney sweeps all over the country,
Mhm.
and he's using those full-page phone book ads that were popular back then.
Yeah. That seems like a bold move. The internet wasn't as big then, so phone books were still how you reached people, but this strategy backfired, didn't it?
It did. His ambition seems to have rubbed a competitor the wrong way,
Oh.
and it led to him being banned from major industry organizations for 3 years. That must have been a huge blow,
Oh, yeah, professionally and personally.
for sure. And to add to the turmoil, this all happened at the same time as a big shift in his personal life.
Oh, okay. The podcast mentions a spiritual awakening during this time. Sounds like a period of introspection and change for him.
Absolutely. He even described making a deal with God, promising to give everything he owned if shown proof of his existence.
Wow.
He was baptized in 2006, but his financial struggles continued. It wasn't until 2008, while walking in the Arizona hills, that he prayed for relief from his debt. Incredibly, by the end of that year, he was debt-free.
It's a fascinating parallel to the challenges in his business. This period of turmoil could have derailed him, but it seems to have fueled his resilience even more.
Yeah, it definitely speaks to his ability to overcome adversity, both internal and external.
Hmm.
This reflection seems to have had a profound impact on him.
Totally.
Oh.
He emerged from this period with a renewed focus and a really savvy understanding of the changing marketing landscape. In 2008, recognizing the growing power of the internet, he acquired as many chimney sweep-related domain names as possible, including chimneysweep.com.
Wow. Acquiring those domain names was smart. It shows he was thinking ahead, anticipating the shift to online search.
Right.
How did he know online presence was going to be important for something as traditional as chimney sweeping?
That's what I find so interesting about Ray. He was constantly challenging conventional thinking and adapting to the changing times. But he didn't stop there. He went on to secure a bunch of vanity phone numbers, like 757 Chimney and 804 Chimney.
Oh, wow, those are good.
Yeah, pretty memorable, right?
Definitely. They're catchy, easy to remember, instantly connect you with his service. It's a great example of how seemingly small details can make a big difference.
He was ahead of the curve. He even used these numbers on billboards and direct mail campaigns. It's like he saw the potential of creating a national brand around a local service.
Yeah, this expansion strategy is interesting. What were the challenges of managing a network of chimney sweeps across the country, especially with regional differences, and making sure the quality and service was consistent?
That's a great question. And it leads us to the next chapter of Ray's journey. He didn't just build his own business, he created a whole platform to empower other chimney sweep businesses.
Wow, so instead of competing, he's collaborating, creating a win-win for himself and other businesses.
Exactly. It shows a real evolution in his thinking. He realized that by supporting others, he could elevate the entire industry and, in turn, benefit his own brand.
That's really insightful.
Mhm.
Shows good business sense and an understanding of networks and collaboration.
Sure.
So tell me more about this platform. How does it work? What are the key features?
Well, basically, he offers local chimney sweeps access to his vanity numbers and his website listings for a monthly fee. He has area codes and numbers for major cities across the country. For example, he has 331 for Chicago, 617 for Boston. You name it, he's probably got a number for it.
That's incredibly smart. He's using his existing resources to create a valuable service. It's a classic example of recognizing a need in the market and finding a creative solution.
Yeah, it's almost like he's built a franchise model, but without having to manage individual franchises, he provides the marketing and branding, and the local businesses focus on delivering the service.
That white label approach is becoming more and more popular these days. It lets businesses tap into established brands without having to build everything from scratch.
He even has a nationwide toll-free number, 833-Chimney, that companies can use to connect with customers based on their zip code.
Oh, it's a nice addition. Streamlines everything for the customer.
Yeah. So what started as a way to navigate a tough job market has blossomed into this incredible nationwide network.
It's amazing how someone can take a seemingly ordinary trade
Hmm.
and, through innovation and adaptability, turn it into a thriving business.
He's a true pioneer. But what's really striking is not just the financial success, it's his willingness to share that success with others. He's built a community, empowering other chimney sweeps.
That's an important point that often gets overlooked. Success isn't just about individual achievement. It's about making a positive impact.
Absolutely, and it's something we can all learn from.
For sure. Ray's story is a powerful reminder that true success is multifaceted. It's financial stability, personal fulfillment, and creating a positive ripple effect.
And sometimes it's about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. Who knew chimney sweeping held this much potential?
Right. It's a reminder to always be curious, challenge assumptions, never underestimate the power of a good idea, no matter how unconventional it seems.
And this is just the beginning of our deep dive into Ray's world. We've only scratched the surface. There's still so much more to unpack.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring the specific strategies he used to build his network, the challenges he faced, and the lessons we can learn.
So stay tuned, because in the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve deeper into Ray's business model, his approach to marketing and technology, and the impact he's had on the chimney sweep industry as a whole.
We'll also look at how his story can inspire us to think differently about success, challenge our own assumptions, and maybe even uncover hidden potential in our own lives and careers. So picking up where we left off, Ray's decision to build a network instead of, competing head to head. It's a masterclass in adapting, really. It makes me think about how shopping malls have evolved. They used to be all about the big anchor stores, but now they're thriving by incorporating local businesses, creating more diverse experiences.
That's a great analogy. It seems like Ray saw a similar shift happening with chimney sweeps. Instead of trying to be the biggest in every market, he created a system where everyone benefits from collaboration.
Yeah.
So how exactly does this network work? What are the nuts and bolts of his model?
Well, it's a blend of online marketing, branding,
Mm-hmm.
and lead generation. Local chimney sweeps pay a monthly fee to access the network, and that gives them some key advantages.
It sounds like he's created a franchise model. but without the hassle of actually managing individual franchises?
Exactly. First, they get to use those memorable vanity phone numbers. Makes it easier for customers to find and remember them. Second, they're listed on his website, chimneysweep.com, which acts as a central hub for customers searching for services. Imagine if every dry cleaner in a city had to make their own website. It would be overwhelming for customers.
It's like a one-stop shop for anything chimney related.
Exactly. And that's huge in the digital age. It streamlines the customer journey, makes it easy to find a reputable chimney sweep. And to make things even smoother, he added that nationwide toll-free number, 833-CHIMNEY. Automatically connects callers to a local provider based on their zip code.
It's a great system. It benefits the customers, the local businesses, and of course, Ray himself. Everyone wins. But building a network like that, it's going to come with its own set of challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely. Keeping the quality and service consistent across a nationwide network, that's a big task. I wonder how he makes sure everyone meets his standards. He mentioned that training program for his own technicians, but how does that work on a national scale?
Yeah, that's a great question. I wonder if he has a vetting process or maybe even ongoing training resources for the businesses in his network.
Maybe it's a combination of things, like certification requirements, customer reviews,
Yeah.
and keeping an eye on everyone's performance.
It'd be interesting to see behind the scenes of this network. How does he manage all the communication with the businesses? What kind of support does he offer? Regional managers? Or is it all centralized?
Those are all important things to think about for any business that's operating nationally. Keeping the branding, communication, and quality control consistent across different regions could be tough.
And the logistics, too. Coordinating schedules, dispatching, payments. For a nationwide network of chimney sweeps, that's not easy.
It's like air traffic control for chimney sweeps. But those challenges are also opportunities, you know? If he can solve those problems efficiently, that could really set him apart.
And it sounds like Ray is good at finding those creative solutions. He's not afraid to try new things and adapt. Remember those phone book ads?
Oh yeah, a perfect example of learning from your mistakes and changing course. He could have easily given up on expanding after that, but he found a new way that worked better.
He turned that setback into an opportunity.
Exactly. It's all about how you learn from those mistakes.
So we've talked a lot about the business side of things, but I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier. The idea that success isn't just about money, it's about having a positive impact. How do you see that playing out in Ray's story?
Well, in a few ways. First, he's creating jobs, supporting small businesses, empowering other chimney sweeps, and that helps their communities too. Second, he's raising the standards for the whole industry, promoting quality, professionalism, makes homes safer, reduces the risk of chimney fires. And third, he's showing that collaboration is better than competition. By working together, we can achieve more.
That's a powerful message, especially these days when it feels like everyone's out for themselves.
It is refreshing to see. Success doesn't have to come at the expense of others. True success often involves lifting others up.
So what can our listeners take away from Ray's story? What are the lessons here?
Well, first, don't be afraid to challenge the way things are usually done. Ray could have just been an engineer, but he saw something different, and he went for it.
Yeah, sometimes the most rewarding paths are the ones less traveled.
Exactly. Second, be adaptable. Things are always changing. The people who are willing to learn and adapt, they're the ones who will thrive. Ray's first attempt at expanding failed, but he didn't let that stop him. He embraced new technology and found a new way to reach his goals.
He turned a setback into a setup.
For sure. Third, never underestimate the power of working together. Ray's network shows us that we can achieve more together, whether it's partnering with businesses, finding mentors, or just connecting with people who share your interests.
And finally, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Ray took something that many people might consider ordinary, and he turned it into a thriving business. What ordinary aspects of your life or career could have hidden potential?
That's a great question to ask yourself. Opportunity can be anywhere if we're willing to look.
We've covered a lot about Ray, from engineer to entrepreneur to business leader and innovator. But there's one thing we haven't talked about yet: his marketing genius.
That's right. From those phone numbers to his online strategies, marketing has played a key role in his success.
For sure. So in the final part of our deep dive, we'll break down those marketing strategies and see what makes them so effective and how our listeners can apply those lessons.
Yeah.
We'll also talk about the bigger picture, how his approach fits into today's digital world.
That'll be interesting.
Okay, so let's jump back into Ray's world. We've talked about his journey, all the obstacles he's overcome, his amazing business model. Now it's time to unpack his secret weapon, his marketing skills.
He's definitely in a league of his own when it comes to marketing, that's for sure. It's amazing how he's combined those old school methods like billboards
Yeah.
with a really modern digital approach.
Yeah, he just gets it, you know? He understands what works no matter the platform.
Yeah.
So let's start with those vanity numbers. What do you think makes them so effective?
Well, first of all, they're just so easy to remember. We're bombarded with information all the time these days, so something catchy like that really sticks in your mind. Think about jingles, slogans from when we were kids. They work because they're simple, they're repetitive, and they get us emotionally. Ray's numbers do the same thing, easy to recall, and they kind of evoke this sense of nostalgia and trust.
Yeah, it's like he took that old school playbook and brought it into the digital age. And it's definitely working. But those numbers are just one part of it. He's also been incredibly successful online. Getting that domain name, chimneysweep.com, was genius.
Absolutely. It's like prime real estate, but in the digital world. If you search for a chimney sweep, his website is probably going to be one of the first you see. And it's designed so well. Easy to use, informative. Customers can find a local provider without any hassle.
He's created a whole digital ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. He's not just promoting himself, he's giving the whole chimney sweep community a way to thrive online.
And that's where I think his real genius lies. He gets that by helping others. He's actually helping himself and the whole
With
industry.
a win-win. Everyone benefits.
But the digital world is always changing, right? What do you think Ray needs to do to stay ahead of the game? How can he make sure his marketing keeps working in the future?
That's the million-dollar question. He's got to keep up with the trends. Things like SEO, social media, making sure his website looks good on phones.
Yeah, SEO is always evolving. Google and other search engines are always updating how they rank things.
Exactly. And he needs to go beyond just keywords. He needs to create good, informative content that's actually helpful. Blog posts, videos, infographics, stuff that establishes him as the expert and gets people to his website naturally.
And then there's social media. It's essential for businesses now.
Right.
How do you think Ray can use that to his advantage?
Well, he could use Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok to connect with people, share interesting stuff, build a following. He could give behind-the-scenes looks at his business, share chimney safety tips, maybe even run contests.
It's all about community, making those connections.
And don't forget about phones. Most people are browsing the internet on their phones these days. His website needs to be easy to use on any device.
That's so important now. Sounds like Ray has his work cut out for him. But I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's got a real knack for adapting.
He's a true innovator. I bet he'll keep finding new ways to reach customers and grow his business.
So we've really dug deep into Ray's story today. What stands out most to you? What's the main thing you want listeners to remember?
I think it's the power of perspective. Ray saw an opportunity where other people just saw dirt. He questioned the usual way of thinking, took some risks, and in the end, he created something really amazing.
He reminds us that we can find success anywhere if we're open to it.
Yeah, and he shows us that true success is about more than just money. It's about leaving a mark, making a difference, and helping others succeed.
It's been awesome diving into Ray's world. I'm feeling inspired,
You too.
ready to chase my own dreams.
It's been great talking about this with you. Hopefully our listeners feel inspired too. To challenge themselves, find their own unique path, maybe even find their own chimney sweep moment. That spark that leads them to something great.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive for today. We'll have links to Ray's website and all the other resources we mentioned in the show notes. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those chimneys clean.